Hi guys, good evening. Hope you all are having a great day today. So today the topic that I have is called the power of compounding. Now we always hear about the power of compounding when we are talking about investment, right? Whenever we are talking about investment or savings, this is something that people always tell us, the power of compounding, and how starting small but doing it consistently over a long period of time can actually bear amazing returns. Now, I'm not a financial expert, so I'm going to talk about the power of compounding in general. In fact, hi Shamala, nice to see you. So in fact, it was said that Albert Einstein, the genius, said that power of compounding is actually the eighth wonder of the world. So if he could have said something like that, we have to think about why is this amazing. Now for finances, it's very clearly proven. People who start investing early, they actually make a lot more money. You can do the maths and it's very clear. Now we are going to talk about the compounding effect in all other areas in life. Before I get into the compounding impact or the effect, I want to talk about two types of games that people can play in life. One is the short game, and one more is the long game. So what that means is that sometimes when we are doing things right, we have got a very short term vision of what is it that we want to achieve. We are looking at it at a very short term, and we will try something, and if it doesn't work out, it is very easy for us to give up. Hi Darshana, because we are expecting instant results, especially in a world that we are living in right now. Looks like everything we get very fast. Our internet speed is fast. We can order in on Lazada or Shopee, and delivery can come immediately the next day. We can buy books online like really very fast. We can download books instantaneously. Life is becoming very instantaneous, and many people are expecting success and anything that we do also to have that kind of impact. On the other hand, there are people who play the long game in life, like they have got a long term goal, and they're willing to put their energy every single day in order to achieve what is it that they wanted. And when we look at successful people, we can see that many successful people play the long game. And this is also where the power of compounding comes in. Because when we do something again and again and again, and we keep on repeating it, it is bound to bear results. Wouldn't you all agree? It's bound to bear results. The only problem about this is that when we are doing something in a very small incremental way over a long period of time, when you just take a snapshot of that little bit of time, it looks very unimpactful. It looks very boring. It looks like nothing is happening. Over a long period of time, we can see that things happen. But in a short period of time, nothing happens. Yes, Shomala, definitely you would have seen this. It's like, for example, if I want to make a lifestyle change, I want to eat healthy. One day I eat my salad. I don't see anything happening. Even if I eat my salad for a week, I may not really see anything happening. But if it consistently becomes a habit, after 1 year, there would be some amazing results. Wouldn't you all agree? That one habit would have created something. Or even a simple habit, like for example, increasing the amount of water that I drink. This is actually one of my problems, and I consciously try to drink more water. So having to drink, if I can increase my daily intake by 500 milliliter, for example, imagine over a long period of time how much extra water I'll be drinking. And just increasing it a little bit wouldn't make much difference to how I am, but it makes a lot of difference over a period of time. Hi Maliga, nice to see you here. And these are things that we don't actually see. People people that we think are overnight success, we do not know how long they have been putting in the practice. I was reading about Usain Bolt the other day. Usain Bolt, they said that his entire career, right, he's a sprinter and he does like 100 meters and he runs it in a few seconds. So when he does run, in his entire career, he has run on the field and track for less than 9 minutes, I believe. The entire, his career spanning over 20 plus years, he has run below 9 minutes. But if you look at how much of time and effort he would have put into his practice for that 9 minutes, you would see that it's more than 20 years. He would have started running as a little boy, and he would have been running, and he would have been practicing, and he would have been, having a good diet and doing weight building activities, and lots of other things would have gone into it. But what we see is just that short spurt. And that's how for everything in life. People that we think are overnight success are not really overnight success. They were in it for the long haul. They've been working. Writers have been writing every single day for many, many years before that one big, bestseller comes out. And, the same goes for everybody. People who are cooking, the chefs, they would have been cooking for a long time. And then only the success would have come to them. So if we want to be successful, we also have to have this kind of mindset, like to stick on to something for the longer term. A lot of times what we do is we are distracted by the new bright and shiny thing that comes along our way. And we don't stick to our ritual. We want to try this and we want to try that. But it's good to get focused and build one habit and stick to the habit and keep incrementing it. Malika says many people give up and stop believing in themselves because they expect a quick result or overnight miracle. Exactly, because that's sexy, right? If you do something and you get immediate results, it's very seductive in its own way. Shamala says, thank you, Shamala. That's really nice. And so going back to this, imagine if we are imagine there's a steep hill and we are pushing the boulder up the hill. The whole objective is to get the boulder or this big huge rock up the hill, and we continue to push, and then at one point we are feeling so tired, and then we just let it roll down, and then we say, tomorrow I'll start pushing again, and then tomorrow we start pushing, and again, and then again the same thing, it comes down. And we are doing this for years, and then wondering, why is our life so sad? Why other people can achieve success? Why is success eluding me? But if we look deep in, it's actually our own habits, the way we are living. If we had continued to push the boulder even 1 inch a day and don't let it drop, by some way keep it there and continue the next day, eventually it will go up the hill, right? Eventually it will go up the hill. So this is where we have to let go of that immediate gratification need that we have. In all areas of life, we can see people who are shortchanging themselves. Some of the things that people who play short term, they when they want to sell something to their customers, they don't think of getting them as a long-term customer. They try to maximize the profits, and the customer may become disappointed. So that's short-term. If you continue to overwork yourself and not take rest, that's also short-term, because in a short time we can achieve a lot because we are pushing ourselves physically and mentally. But in the long term, our health can break down. So all these are short games that we play in life. Maliga says, we are who we are today itself was a process of many years. That's how nature works. We shall remember this when chasing dreams and successes too. Yes, and that, Maliga, thanks for saying that, because that brings me to the next point, which is the law of compounding is like the law of gravity. It works on us whether we want it or not. It's just a question of whether we are using it consciously or not. Because if we are not using it consciously, we are already using it by default. It's just that we have no idea whatever is it that we are compounding. And like what Malika just mentioned earlier, we are the result of all our compounding habits, and everything, our thoughts, our behaviors, and everything is the result of where we are. So if we are happy about some areas in our life, these are the areas where we have done well. But if there are areas in our life where it's not working out, it is also the result of our own choices and the things that we have done. And at any time, we can use this law to our benefit. We can now that we are knowing it, we can actually use it consciously and steer ourselves into the right direction. Thanks, Malika. Thank you for coming in and sharing all of that as well. And the other thing that I also want to share is, I've lost my train of thought. So the compounding effect. Yeah, so the compounding effect is working for us whether we want it or not. So in the atomic habit, Malika, Shomala, and myself, we are in a book club, and we read this book. James Clear, the author, actually talks that we can just make 1% change every single day. We will be 37, almost 38 times better by end of that year. Imagine that. Just a small change every single day, we will become almost 38 times better by end of that year. And in the same way, if we deteriorate, we go down 1% every single day, by the end of the year we will be almost at zero. That is how powerful this compounding effect is. Just a small bit every day will just keep increasing it. And this is something that we have to think about, because when we do small changes, we all have got a line of motivation, right? If something is very difficult and is above our line of motivation, it's very hard for us to do. If I suddenly think I want to go and climb Mount Everest, it's very hard for me to imagine that. But if I think, today I'm just going to go up and do 20 flights of Batu Caves, that's so much easier because it falls below my line of motivation. 20 steps is like nothing for me. Or maybe just my house, I'm just going to run up and down my staircase 5 times. And if that is below me, that falls below my level of motivation, I will easily do it. And as I keep getting better and better, my line of motivation will also increase. And eventually, if I want to, and I keep up this habit, I can climb mountains. So it's important for us to, if we want to use this law of compounding, start small. For people who are investing, they will say it's okay, just start with 50 ringgit a day. When you get more, you can increase it. It will still work the same way. And for habits, it's exactly the same. If doing big things is difficult for us, just start with small things, small shifts in habit, and it will bear amazing results. And we can do things like, instead of watching TV, we can just choose that time to do an exercise. Just a small shift. If that is already very difficult, do the exercise while watching TV. Just any small shift that is okay to us, and over time it will have an amazing compounding effect. So that's what I want to share. Do remember about the 8th wonder purportedly told by Einstein. If he doesn't talk a lot about other things, right? So if he said it, there must be something to it. So that's all I have, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.